An abandoned house, weeping angels wait. The only hope to stop them is a young woman named Sally Sparrow and her friend Larry Nightingale. The only catch, weeping angels can move in the blink of an eye. To defeat the ruthless enemy, with only a half of a conversation from the 10th Doctor as help, one rule is this: don't turn your back, don't look away, and don't blink. Hello, welcome friends and companions. It's time for a live stream. Sci-fi and fantasy fans and all sort of fans meet on this channel for fun chats about their beloved books, movies, series, and franchises. We also talk about food and drinks, music and sport, and a special place for on this channel for Doctor Who, my most beloved sci-fi series. Yes. This channel has multiple names and it is regenerating frequently. And most of the time, this channel is called Random Entertainment Channel. Random because we'll discuss everything that involves entertainment, including movies and series, books and music. We don't do religion and politics. These are not entertainment. We want to have laughter, fun, and jokes on this channel. So, entertainment. Random, because we're broadcast on non-fixed times, actually many different times. It's also the case with the Doctor who travels in his TARDIS through time and space. Um, I want to reach as much people as possible. So, um, for to meet people in other different time zones, I do live streams on different times. So I want to make friends. I want to connect with you. I want to meet you actually. So that's the reason why I do the streams on different times, and also I want to go with the flow. So um, yeah, different times. So you need to subscribe to this channel to know what time the broadcast is. Random. Also, we could have no guests or different guests. It depends on want to show me in the live stream panel. If you want to show me in live stream, feel free to contact me via a comment on the under of the YouTube videos, or you can meet me, visit me on the Discord server, and we'll look what is possible. What also is possible to invite me for your channel. I'm available to take a next seat next to you on your channel for a live stream or panel to talk about the things you're interested in, what we are like. King. So. In summary, you are invited to take a place seat next to me to talk about things entertainment involved, or you can um, invite me for your channel for a live stream or panel to talk about the things we like and the things we are interested in. So feel free. The Discord server is called Random Entertainment Channel. Tag Doctor Who on Discord and you find me very quick because I bump the server regularly. So cheers, mate. Have lots of fun. This is your host, Enigmatic Joker. Enigma, mystery, random and shuffle. Extended and extended. And today we have a 10th Doctor story called Blink. So, first some general info. For the story. Okay. Blink was the 10th episode of Series 3 of Doctor Who. Based on an earlier short story by writer Stephen Moffat, Blink introduced the Weeping Angels. It was also the second Doctor-like story in BBC Wales' Doctor Who, having come about out of a need in the production schedule for double banking. The episode also marks the last time a Doctor Who episode would primarily focus on a character who was neither an incarnation of the Doctor or a companion until the episode Dot and Bubble in 2024 met de 14 Doctor Nsuti Gatwa en his companion um, Moffat had intended to write a two-parter earlier in the series, but was too busy writing and producing Jekyll. Believing he had messed everything up, Moffat offered to throw himself onto the grenade of the unpopular episode. Pardon. Referring to the Doctor Light concept, in a 2008 interview, he admitted that he had only just started realizing that Blink was, in fact, a really great episode. Because of its late submission, Blink was the quickest piece of writing Moffat had ever done, having gone straight on the second draft with no notes to the script and tone meetings before going into production 10 days later. The script writing process took such little time to produce that Moffat claimed that Blink was such a tiniest sliver of his writing career that he couldn't remember making it. The episode has since received mass critical praise. In Doctor Who magazine 474, Blink was rated second by fans among the very best television stories in Doctor Who's then 50-year history. So, we will dive now into the plot. Um, a spoiler alert, if you haven't and or listened to this story yet, I highly recommend you to do that. Otherwise, you can listen further to this plot. Okay, let's start. Okay. Young photographer Sadie Sparrow breaks into an old house, Wester Grumblings, and takes photos of fallen chandeliers and moss growing in fireplaces. Entering a room upstairs, she sees spinning wallpaper and the letters BE exposed underneath. She pulls back the corner and finds the message Beware of Weeping Angels. She tears off more wallpaper, revealing a message telling her to beware of the weeping angels and telling her to duck, Sadie Sparrow. It is only when she reveals the words duck now that she actually do so, narrowly avoiding a rock that would have hit her head. She looks out the window from where the rock was thrown and sees the statue of an angel with its hands covering its eyes. She peels the rest of the wallpaper off to reveal the writer of the message. Love from the Doctor, 1969. Sally appears to return home, looking into her living room. There are numerous televisions. They show a man with glasses, although on one screen a young woman is butting into the scene. The man tells the viewer not to turn away, not to look away, and not to blink. Blink, and you're dead. Sadie calls her best friend, Katie Nightingale, despite the late hour. She answers groggily, but refuses to leave her home. It's then revealed that Sally is in Katie's home, having been given a key. Annoyed, Katie gets ready to greet her friend. However, upon hearing the toilet, Katie asks if Sally has met her brother, warning her that she's about to. Sally turns to the hall to see Katie's naked brother, Larry, who desperately hoped he was wearing pants. Katie walks in, shouting at Larry to go to bed. She then notices Sally isn't concerned by this, asking her what's wrong. The next morning, Katie and Sally return to the house. Katie has a laugh that they are acting like detectives. Sally knows Katie the message on the wall and the weeping angel, but thinks it is now closer to the house than before. Someone rings the doorbell. Sally answers it, and Katie waits in the room where the writing on the wall is in case of incidents. Sally answers the door to discover a man who is looking for her. He says that he was told to come to this place on this exact date and time and gives Sally Sparrow a letter. As Katie spies on the conversation from in the room, she fails to notice the weeping angel moving whenever it isn't in sight, lowering its hands from its eyes and creeping into the room and upon Katie from behind. When Sally asks the man who sent him, he replies that it was his grandmother, Catherine Wainwright, who specified that he explains that before marriage. She was known as Katie Nightingale. At that moment, the door to the room Katie is in slams shut. Sally calls to Katie, which the man assumes is wondering if he said the right name. He states her full name, Catherine Costello Nightingale. Sally presumes she has figured out the joke and calls for her friend, but Katie does not answer. When she goes back into the room where she left her, Katie has completely vanished, and the angel is back in his original spot, a position outside. Elsewhere, Katie gets up in a field and asks a local lad where she is. He replies that she is in hell, but she refuses to believe it until he shows her the local newspaper, which not only confirms her location, but also shows the year to be 1920. Back at Western Rumblings, the man has become upset. He promised to fulfill his task for his grandmother, Katie Wainwright, who died in 1987. This persuades Sally to take the letter. Who reads it? This man is indeed Katie's grandson, who swore to fulfill her last request. In anger, Sally flings down the letter and heads upstairs, only to find three more weeping angels. One of them has a Yale key in its hand. She takes it and heads out, only to find Katie's grandson leaving with his promise fulfilled. As Sally leaves, she fails to notice that the angels are covering their eyes and watching her as she takes the key and leaves. In a coffee shop, Sally reads the letter fully, learning that Katie led a full and happy life with Ben, first person she met in Hull with a family. She includes photographs of her and her children, with a daughter named after Sally, and grandchildren. Sally reads Katie's joke about living to an exceptionally old age and a request to tell Larry, who works at a local DVD shop, something. Her parents are gone by this time, so he's really her only close family. Sally goes to Katie's grave to pay her respects to her dead friend, having a laugh that Katie lied to Ben, claiming to have been younger than she was. Then leaves for the DVD shop. Sally fails to notice one of the angels from Mr. Drumlings spying on her in the graveyard. When Sally gets to the DVD shop, she goes into the back to find Larry. She, unconvincingly, explains to him that Katie has had to go away due to work and that it's nothing to worry about. She also honors her friend's request to tell her brother that she loves him. Larry smiles at that and then wonders if that's an indication that something is wrong with her or whether it is all just a joke. But Sally assures him that everything is fine. She sees the man with glasses who was giving the blinking warning on the screens in the Nightingale's flat on the TV, which Larry has been studying. He explains that the man is an Easter egg found on 17 DVDs, and no one, not even the manufacturers or the publishers, knows how it got there. He simply sits there and makes random remarks. It's like listening to half a conversation. Larry and his internet friends have been constantly trying to figure out the other half. As he and Sally are talking, the DVD keeps up pausing itself, and the man with glasses continues with his random phrases, two of which fit with Sally's comments. Much to her shock, in the end, Larry gives her a list of the 17 DVDs that have the Easter egg on them. She leaves the shop, having gotten an idea from a comment said by Larry's co-worker. Why does nobody ever just go to the police about what to do next? Sally goes to the police station and mentions the house's name. While waiting, she sees two of the angels on the church across the street. While watching them, she blinks and they have disappeared. She doesn't see that they are now above the window she's looking out of. She then meets Billy Shipton. He shows her a collection of cars with something strange in common. All of them were found outside the Western Drumling's house, some with their motors still running, and all of their owners vanished without a trace. He shows her a fake police phone box with a lock that will not open. Billy charms Sally to give him her mobile number before she leaves. After she leaves, Bill finds the weeping angels have appeared in the room with him, surrounding the phone box. But examining them closely, he blinks. Outside, Sally finds the key she took from the angel's hand in her coat pocket. She heads back to the garage to try it out, but Billy and the police box have gone, and the outside door is broken. Someone has broken through it with great force. Billy gets up to see the doctor and Martha, who tell him he's in 1969 because of the touch of an angel, most likely the same one as he is in the same year that they are. The doctor advises him not to go swimming for an hour as time travel without a capsule is disorientating. He remarks that the weeping angels are the only psychopaths that kill you nicely. They send their victim into the past and feed off the days they might have had. But he does not understand any of this, but Martha advises him to not when the doctor stops for breath. The doctor explains to Billy how he found him by showing off his timey-wimey detector, a modified lunchbox, which detects when someone comes from a different time and can cook an egg from 20 paces, whether you want it or not. Because of this, he actively avoids chickens as it's not pretty when they blow up. The doctor explains that normally he would have offered Billy a ride home. However, someone's nicked his motor. After they talk, the doctor asks Billy to give Sadie Sparrow a message and apologizes that it will take a while to get the message through. Back in the present, Sadie gets a phone call. She goes to visit an old and dying Billy at the hospital. They have a laugh that Billy managed to marry a Sally who has already passed away. Billy goes on to explain that he often thought of contacting her before tonight, but says it would have torn a hole in the fabric of space and time and destroyed the two-thirds of the universe. She asks where he got that from, and he replies that there was a man he met in 1969 called the doctor who asked him to pass on a message to her. Look at the list. She's not sure what this means. He says it's a list of 17 DVDs. Billy reveals that he didn't stay a policeman back in the 1970s. He instead got into publishing the videos and eventually DVDs. Sally realizes that he was the one who put the Easter eggs on the DVDs. She's curious as how the doctor knew she had the list, considering she has not had it long. Billy replies that he asked the doctor, but he couldn't tell him, only saying that she would understand one day, but that he won't. She offers to come and tell him once she has figured it out, but he solemnly says that the doctor told him that this would be their last meeting before he dies. She decides to stay with him until the end. He thanks her and says he only has until the rain stops. After the rain has stopped, Sally calls Larry. She has realized what the DVDs on the list all have in common. They are all owned by her. Specifically, they are the only DVDs that she owns, which means that the Easter egg is meant for her, though he's more shocked by the fact she only owns 7 DVDs. He ignores this and asks him meet her at Western Drumlings and to bring a portable DVD player. Larry does so and brings 2 copies of the DVD. One has a slightly better picture, but he opts for the one with the best sound. They play it and see the full message from the doctor. He makes the same random comments from the video store, but now they fit perfectly into what Larry and Sally are saying. Realizing this, Sally thinks he can hear them, but Larry explains that he always says it and that he has got a transcript of the Easter egg with him. As the doctor gives his message, everything Sally seems to fit in. So Larry, now very excited, begins to add her words to the transcript. The doctor mentions that he has a copy of the transcript on his auto cue. That is how he knows what she is saying. He warns of creatures from another world, the lonely assassins, aka the weeping angels. They are incredibly fast, and they can sense people back in time, which is how he got stuck in 1969. These aliens have a unique defense mechanism. They are quantum locks. They do not exist when they are being watched. If any living thing looks at the angels, they immediately turn to stone until they are no longer looked at. This explains the weeping. They cannot look at each other since it has the same effect. Their greatest asset is their greatest curse. They are looking to get into the TARDIS, which contains a world of time energy, which the angels could feast on forever, but the damage they could do could switch off the sun. And since Sally has the key, the angels are after her now. The Doctor is stuck in 1969, so he's relying on Sally to send the TARDIS back to him. When she asks how, he states that he has run out of transcript, but he can guess why. He surmised that the weeping angels are closing in, forcing her to flee, and so left the transcript unfinished. Indeed, Larry has stopped writing. He says what Sally has already heard. She must keep her gaze on the angels. She mustn't turn away, look away, or even blink. The angels can move with incredible speed when unobserved. Blink and you are dead. Once the message has ended, Sally screams for the doctor not to go, so Larry offers to rewind it, but that would be of no use. They both realize at the same time that neither is looking at the weeping angel anymore. They look up. The angel is now in the room with them, baring sharp teeth in a savage snarl and outstretching clawed fingers towards them. As the terrified Larry keeps his eyes fixed on the angel to stop it getting any closer, Silly searches for a way out. As he tries all the doors in the house, only to find the angels have locked them in while they were watching the doctor's message. Larry is growing increasingly restless and fearful that the other angels could come up behind him. Larry turns around for a split second, and the angel moves to right in front of him. Keeping his eyes on it, he slowly backs out of the room. Then he finds an unlocked door to the cellar and calls out to Larry to give him the news. Larry willingly flees to rejoin with Sally. Larry and Sally descend into the cellar to find a way out. They find a TARDIS along with the other three weeping angels. They head towards the door, keeping their eyes on the angels. As they get to the TARDIS, a fourth angel head has appeared by the stairs and is pointing at the light. The light starts to flicker, and Sally and Larry realize in horror that the angel is draining the light so that the angels will be able to attack in the darkness. With each flicker, the angels move towards Sally and Larry with their claws out and their teeth showing as they frantically try to unlock the TARDIS door. At the last second, they open it and flee inside and lock the angels out just in time. As the two look around at the TARDIS interior in amazement, the hologram of the Doctor activates and says that the TARDIS has detected an unauthorized has detected an unauthorized control disk valid for one journey only. It is the other copy of the DVD that Larry bought, which is now glowing. While the angels outside begin shaking the TARDIS on each side, looking for a way in. Larry puts the DVD into the console and the TARDIS begins to materialize. But as the TARDIS begins to fade away around them, Sally realizes the TARDIS is leaving, but she and Larry are not going with it. She screams at the Doctor to help them, even as the TARDIS fades, leaving them crouching in the middle of the circle of angels. Sally yells to keep looking at them, but Larry stands up. Slowly, he realizes that the doctor tracked the angels. They've been left looking straight at each other, freezing them permanently. A year later, Sally and Larry are running the DVD store together. But Sally cannot let all that has happened to them go, as she still doesn't know how the doctor got all the information he possessed. Sally is shown to now have everything she recorded, including the transcript, the photos of the wall, and a list of the DVDs in a folder which she keeps on her all the times. Larry subtly hints that her obsession with this is preventing them from having a relationship, but she insists that they merely run a shop together. He then goes out to get some milk. Sally then glances outside as the taxi pulls up and the doctor and Martha get out. She rushes over to talk to them, only to find that the doctor doesn't recognize her as the events of her past are still in his future. Sally suddenly realizes that she is the one who gives the doctor the information he needs to retrieve the TARDIS and save her from the weeping angels. Sally then hands over the folder, telling him that, at some point, he's going to be stuck in 1969 and he'll need to ensure he has it on him when he is. The doctor is in a rush, still in the middle of another adventure, but asks Sally's name and tells her it's nice to meet her. Larry returns right at the moment with the milk and can only stare at the doctor and Martha in stunned amazement. The doctor is in a hurry and cannot stay, so he and Martha eventually head off to take care of four things and a lizard. While Sally clasps Larry's hand and goes back into the shop. Sparrow and Nightingales and carrying books and rare DVDs. However, the scene however the scene shifts to montage across the public statuary, punctuated with the doctor's recorded warnings, as though to warn us that there might be other angels lurking among the statues. Blink, and you are dead. Don't turn your back. Don't look away. And don't blink. Good luck. End of the story. Blink. Yes. Some cast members. The Doctors played by David Tennant. Martin Jones played by Freema Agyeman. Sally Sparrow is played by Carrie Mulligan. Katie Nightingale is played by Lucy Gaskell. Larry Nightingale is played by Finlay Robertson. Malcolm Wainwright is played by Richard Kent. Billy Shipton is played by Michael Obiora. Old Billy is played by Louis Mahoney. Ben Wainwright is played by Thomas Nelstrop. Banto is played by Ian Boldsworth. And Desk Sergeant is played by Ray Sawyer. Some world building. While trapped in 1969, the Doctor builds a time-wimey detector that goes ding when there's stuff. It is assembled from items including a Blackpool postcard. Next thing. Weeping angels are quantum locked, meaning that they cannot move when within on anyone's side. Third thing is that when Katie calls her and Sally, Sparrow and Nightingale, Sally says it's a bit ITV. Another thing is that Larry compares Western Drumlings to Scooby-Doo House. Another thing is that Sally, this triggers security protocol 712 in the TARDIS. Another thing is that the Doctor and Martha are heading to Red Hatching. The other thing about Sally has a UK driver's license which states that she was born in England. Another thing is that Larry has a sticker on one of his files advertising Cunard White Star to Europe. About DVDs on display at Bento's DVD store include Dance of Days, Falling Star, Mean Teens, Civilization Zero, and Banana Shots. Posters shown for DVDs including Acid Burn, Candy Cane, and City Justice. Another thing is that a Palm Beach bar in Flatable is on display in the back room of Bento's. Another thing in world building is that Sally and Larry own a shop called Sparrow and Nightingale. And last thing in world building is that on the same street as Sparrow and Nightingale are Shape's Hair, Joseph's hairstylist, and the news agent shop, which advertises walls and the National Lottery. Some story notes. This episode, like Series 2 Love and Monsters, is a Doctor and companion light episode. The Doctor and Martha were purposely not featured in his story, so David Tennant and Freema Agaiman could concentrate on the final 3 episodes of season 3. The second note is that this episode won a Hugo Award in 2008. A third thing is that the plot of this episode was based upon a short story Stephen Moffat wrote for the Doctor Who Annual 2006 called What I Did on My Christmas Holidays by Sally Sparrow. The story involves Sally Sparrow, who is a child in the story, as opposed to a young woman in the episode, finding her school assignment about being contacted by the Ninth Doctor through photographs and a videotape. Like the episode, there is a sequence in which Sally has a conversation with the Doctor through the television, which he gives her instructions to allow her to return the TARDIS to him. The Weeping Angels aren't present in the story. The Doctor being separated from TARDIS was due to a hic cough. Knowing what to do thanks to an adult Sally, who is a beautiful spy who saves the Doctor's life, giving him the story, which details the experience. Another note is that the story is ultimately an ontological paradox. An ontological paradox. That is, the Doctor has all the information, the transcript of the conversation, the contents of the message behind the wallpaper, etc. Because Sally gives him that information at the end of the story. But Sally gets that information from seeing the wall the Doctor wrote, watching the DVD the Doctor made, and so on. The information never really starts anywhere. The Doctor knows what to say in the conversation because he's reading Larry's transcript, which Larry made 38 years later by watching the conversation. The information is in an endless loop. So that's ontological paradox. Despite only appearing in cameos, David Tennant and Freema Agaiman are still credited as the main stars rather than Carey Mulligan in the episode's main role of Sally Sparrow. Next thing is that Bento's DVDs were fake titles created for the episode, complete with DVD covers and poster designs. Another interesting thing is that this is the first episode to be directed by a woman after a 22-year interval. The previous one was The Mark of the Rani, and that is with the Sixth Doctor Colin Baker and Perry Brown as his companion. Another thing is that when Laurie brings Sally the list of DVDs, a vintage White Star Line sticker can be seen stuck to the back of the folder. Titanic, the most famous White Star vessel, would later inspire the setting for the Voyage of the Damned. And yeah, that is also a 10th Doctor story with companion Astrid. As a Christmas special in 2007. Next thing, Larry's comment of having the Doctor's line, the Angels have the poem box printed on a t-shirt was written in to see if fans of the show really would make t-shirts with a line written on it. Another thing is that for reasons unknown, while the original BBC One podcast and subsequent Vision 2 DVD release of the episode includes 1 year later on-screen graphic prior to the epilogue scene, podcast of the episode in North America, as well as Region 1 DVD release, omit this. In Doctor Who magazine 2009, conducted a reader poll to rank the first 200 Doctor Who stories in order of preference. Blink rated second, surpassed only by the 1984 story The Case of Androzani with the fifth Doctor Peter Davison, and also with Perry Brown, companion. A similar poll was run in 2014. With Blink again coming second overall, this time beaten by The Day of the Doctor. And The Day of the Doctor is that's the 50th anniversary special with 11th Doctor Matt Smith, but also with the War Doctor John Hurt and then Doctor David Tennant. Companion, of course, is Clara. Um, in 2023, it was revealed to have been ranked as readers' favorite 10 Doctor story in all three of their major polls held since its airing. Doctor Who Magazine 592. It also has the highest rating of any Doctor Who episode on the Internet Movie Database at 9.8. Billy can be seen in the police station with a patch on his jacket depicting a sparrow, a possible joke on the main character's last name. A sequel to the story, this Ghost Story for Christmas, was released as a webisode on day 24 of the 2009 adventure calendar on the official Doctor Who's website. It was narrated by John Merriman as Jack Harkness in the style of a ghost story and depicted the abduction of another woman by the Weeping Angels. And also the concept of the Doctor's first encounter with someone also being that person's final encounter with him will later be significantly expanded upon with the character of River Song. The story was originally titled Sally Sparrow and Weeping Angels, but Rusty Davies didn't like this title. Stephen Moffat suggested Blink as an alternative, which Davies loved, but wanted the word Blink in the script like a cheesy 50s trailer. Rather than being inanimate props, the angels were portrayed by real actresses, covered in makeup and prosthetics. But standing completely still is a great challenge even for the most accomplished of actors. It was revealed on a DVD commentary. The special digital effect was used to freeze them in place so that if they did even involuntarily move, it wouldn't be noticed. Yeah. Stephen Moffat had originally had a different and much darker ending in mind for this episode. He would have seen Sally give the doctor the folder, then step back inside the store to find an angel inside. Larry then steps in and notices that Sally is not there. He then looks more closely at the painting on the wall and realizes the person smiling and waving in it is Sally, having been sent into the past by the angel. After reflecting on the episode for its 10th anniversary, Moffat stated that it makes me wonder why an angels never sent her back in time. All these years later, I wonder why I didn't end it like that. Next thing is Billy Shipton comments that the police box isn't a real one as the phone's just a dummy and the windows are the wrong size. This is a reference to the fact that the TARDIS props over the years have been scaled down versions of the real thing. About a scene, one humorous deleted scene would have formed part of the pre-credits teaser. After City discovered the message behind the wallpaper, Stephen Moffat had requested the sound of glitched horror movie music. This would turn out to be Sally's mobile phone ringtone. It was actually Katie calling her friend from a pub. Next thing, Stephen Moffat initially wrote placeholder dialogue in a script for the scene, but the doctor tells Sally that he can hear her in the DVD shop because she knew the lines that appeared would have to play a double duty later on and be authentic and fresh both times. Another thing with Stephen Moffat is that Stephen Moffat claims that the Weeping Angels were inspired by the children's game Statues, which he found frightening. And another thing with Stephen Moffat is that Stephen Moffat revealed that Carrie Mulligan was offered the chance to stay on as a companion, but she declines. Another thing is that the scene wherein the doctor talks to Sally via DVD extra was created by writing the conversation, removing Sally's lines, then having David Tennant record his lines. Stephen Moffat felt that this one way of filming made the performance more convincing. Another thing that created the rigid structure of the angel dresses, prosthetic supervisors Rob Major soaked fabric in fiberglass resin, which was then painted over. Another thing is that to create the effective time of the angels working TARDIS, Kerry Mulligan and Finlay Robertson threw themselves around the ship's shed, and the camera's operator then shoot the camera in the opposite direction that Mulligan and Robertson threw themselves. Another thing is that at one point Sally would have been seen to be pregnant at the episode's conclusion, but Stephen Moffat decided it was more effective to delay Sally and Larry's romance until after her meeting with the Doctor. Another thing is that Stephen Moffat had the idea of the weeping angel since seeing an angel statue in a graveyard whilst on a family holiday to Igward, Suffolk, where the hotel had been close to a condemned churchyard and cemetery. Another thing is that originally the producers considered having Michael Obiora play both the young and old version of Billy Shipton. However, it was decided Obiora in makeup would look too fake, so Louis Mahoney was cast to play the older version. Another thing is that in a 2017 interview for the episode's 10th anniversary, Finney Robertson mentions that he had to change his accent to match Lucy Gospel's, as their characters Larry and Katie are siblings. Another thing, Michael Obiora and Louis Mahoney played father and son in the series Sea of Souls. Another thing is that the first draft of the script is very close to the finished episode, with the exception of the ending. Instead of taking off by itself, the TARDIS brings Sally and Larry to 1969, where they meet the Doctor and Martha. As returning them to the present, the Doctor reveals that he learned everything from a book called Sally Sparrow and Weeping Angels. He asks Sally to sign it, and she sees that the author's name is Sally Nightingale. Also, Katie was originally named Jenny. Another thing is that a scene cut from the epilogue had Larry revealing that he regularly checks to ensure that the weeping angels are still petrified. Next thing, David Tennant suffered from voice problems during this story. Exploding eggs are mentioned twice, once by the doctor about his device as a side effect of boiling eggs, exploding hens, and also by Larry, who says that having a complete transcript of the doctor's DVD extra would explode the egg forums. Next thing is that Finlay Robertson named Larry Nightingale as his favorite television role on Twitter in 2023. Another thing is that for a time, Stephen Moffat struggled to devise a way for the Weeping Angels to be defeated. The ultimate resolution was suggested by Mark Geddes, taking advantage of Moffat's intention to include several Weeping Angels in the narrative. Another thing, the episode was originally intended to form the season 6 production block. When it was decided to move up to the recording dates, it became block 5. Another thing is that Phil Connolly chose Hattie MacDonald to direct based on her film Beautiful Thing. Another thing is that the first shot recorded for the episode was the Doctor's hologram, formed on the standing TARDIS set at Upper Boat Studios. Another thing is that notice that Field's house in Newport required little alterations by the production team to serve as Western Drumlings, although the building's derelict state made the experience uncomfortable at times. Stephen Moffat later called the location the creepiest house he had ever seen. Another note, in adapting his short story, Stephen Moffat aged Sally Sparrow up because he figured that children were more interested in watching people older than them. He changed the setting from 1985 to 1969 to make the reveal of the older Billy Shipton more shocking. Another thing is that Carey Mulligan was reportedly ecstatic to have been cast in the series. She was initially concerned with the fact that David Tennant would have little screen time, but after the episode aired, was very pleased with the final result. Another thing is that Western Rumblings was named after a previous residence that Stephen Moffat lived in during the late 1990s. Another note, Stephen Moffat originally wanted to write an episode set in the library, but his commitment to Jekyll and the realization the story would require 2 episodes led to him shelving the idea. And the last story note is that, appropriately enough, an edited footage of the Doctor's message to Sally would later be included as an Easter egg in Series 3's DVD release, accessible by going to the last page of this 4-scene selection menu, pressing up at 9. Keep looking to highlight the word blink and then pressing enter. The last thing I want to talk about is continuity. Again, in universe, stories and episodes are to some extent related to each other, are linked to each other, referencing to each other, and influencing each other. and it's always interpretation of a fan. Um, I have seven things in continuity, and it is first a holographic Doctor appears. We see that in, for example, in The Parting of the Ways with the Ninth Doctor Christopher Eccleston, and in Doomsday, and that is with the Tenth Doctor David Tennant, and yeah, of course Rose in both stories. The second thing is that Martha once again obtains period employment in the course of her adventures with the Doctor, having previously been hired as as a maid. See that in the TV story Human Nature. Third thing is that Doctor's timey-wimey detector is later destroyed. You see that in the prose Ghost of India. The 11th Doctor later uses one to attract Mark Whitaker when he is time displayed by Weeping Angel. We see that in prose, touched by an angel. Fourth thing is that in the pack is that it gives to the Doctor, photos she took of the angels covering their faces are present. It is later revealed that whatever holds the image of an angel is an angel. We see that in the TV story The Time of Angels with the 11th Doctor Matt Smith and Amy Pond and River Song. Fifth thing is that the Doctor's previous incarnation once encountered a remarkably similar situation when encountering another girl named Sally Sparrow who helped him get back to his TARDIS. We see that in prose, what I did on my Christmas holiday by Sally Sparrow. A sixth thing is that Doctor previously encountered the Weeping Angels in his fifth uh, at eight incarnations. In the fifth, it was an audio Fallen Angels, and in the eighth audio Side of the Angels. And the seventh and last one in continuity is that the Doctor says he's rubbish at weddings, especially his own. And there's also a link to audio Hexagora. And that, my friends and companions, is all I have to say about this story. Blink. Some commercial. Sci-fi fantasy fans and all sort of fans meet on this channel for fun chats about their beloved books, movies, series, and franchises. We also talk about food and drinks, music and sport, and a special place on this channel for Doctor Who. Random because discuss everything that involves entertainment, including movies and series, books and music. Random because we broadcast on non-fixed times, actually many different times. You need to subscribe to this channel to know what time the broadcast is. Random also because we have no guests or different guests. It depends on want to join me in the live stream panel. If you want to join me in the live stream, feel free to contact me via Discord and YouTube and we will look what is possible. But also it's possible to invite me for your channel for a live stream panel. I'm available and I want to contribute also on your channel and talk about things we like, we are interested in. So feel free to invite me for that. Another thing is that Discord server is called Random Entertainment Channel Tech Doctor Who on this board. You'll find me very, very quickly because I bump the server regularly. So cheers, mate, and have lots of fun. Your host, Enigmatic Joker. That's me. That's me. It's me. So I'm looking forward to meet you. See you next time. For now, have a nice day. Bye bye.